Jim Folsom ran last election. The most votes he had ever received in a statewide campaign, he's been in 3, I think, was 960,000 votes. He paid these consultants and pollsters big money. They told him, Jim, all you have to do is get 960,000 votes and you're the next lieutenant governor. Now, y'all, he was running against a lady who single-handedly bankrupted the PAC program. I mean, I'm telling you right now, she is a horrible lieutenant governor, to say the least. And there's children in here, so I'm trying to behave. But she got elected over Jim Folsom. And I said, well, how many votes did he get? If he got 960, he's elected. He got 1.2 million and still got beat. So we started looking at what was going on, and we found out there were 260,000 inactive voters that turned out and voted for the first time in 20 years. They had to go to the polls. They didn't have them on lists, so they had to prove their residence and show their ID, and they had to call back the probate office and say, yes, he's an eligible voter, he's just inactive, so make him active. 260 inactive voters. So now we have that data. So what did we do? We called and polled them. We wanted to see maybe they were the turning point of the election. Let's see. Almost 90% of those 260,000 people were rural, white Alabamians. So we started polling them, and you want to be, it's a disgrace to admit that we're associated with these people. You should have heard some of the comments they said. They didn't know if President Obama was a good president or a bad president. It was a race issue. And that's why they turned out, and just voted straight Republicans, like Goldwater. I believe history repeats itself. So then we said, okay, we got to build a database of these 260,000 people because we don't want these crazies to come back out. We want to go back home for another 20 years. So we started polling them again, and we keep polling. And what we have determined, over 80% of them now feel that they have actually gone to the polls and they proved their point. Whether President Obama wins again or he doesn't win again, they're not coming back out. So, you know, that's a good thing. Now, y'all, let me tell you something. In our caucus, a lot of people ask me why I'm a Democrat. Well, let me tell you one reason I'm a Democrat. I could give you 100 reasons. I could speak on that for an hour. But my party and your party is the only party that reflects the mirror image of the state of Alabama. We have blacks, we have whites, we have Hispanics, we have male, we have female. Their party is made up of one species mainly, a white man. And if you're a white female, you don't get on right committee assignments in Montgomery. And you also sit on the back row of the chamber. So we started targeting who do we need to go after. Well, let me tell you right now, I have some great friends of mine. James Fields will tell you we served with them. Some African-American Democratic leaders. Y'all, it isn't the black people's fault that the Democratic Party's failed. It's the white people's fault. If we're going to build this party, you heard them say earlier, we got to build it from the white person up. We got to convince people why we're Democrats. And I got sick and tired of going in caucus meetings in Montgomery and saying, if we can get the black turnout to turn out, then we'll be all right. Well, we can't rely on the black voter turnout. They're going to turn out, and they're going to vote Democrat. They're smart enough to know, and they're educated enough that they're Democrats.
All right.
It's the white people that we got to get to. It's the white people that we have to get to tell them why they are a Democrat. I drove up to a guy's house the other day. I own an insurance company and a newspaper, and he runs an ad in my newspaper the other day. You mentioned newspaper. I got tired of the paper printing bad stuff about me, so I said, to hell with it, I'm going to buy my own, print what I want. So I did. But, you know, he had a tea party, one of those snakes, don't tread on me, had his car jacked up on bricks, and I know him. He's on welfare and his wife's on disability. So I went up to him, I said, Jack, what are you thinking? And I said, you got to be kidding me. He said, well, Craig, he said, I just got to tell you, I can't handle it anymore. I said, you're on welfare. I said, that's a Democratic funded program. Your wife's on disability. I said, you think Republicans care about you? No. And I said, not only that, the snake isn't the right snake for the tea party. I said, tea parties are for females. Get the sign out of your yard. And so we got to talking, and I convinced him after about an hour-long conversation, and we kind of had some disagreements, but I just thought, you know, this guy's crazy. So this is what we have to do. We have to educate uneducated. And it's difficult to do, and y'all, let me tell you, it's a generation thing. You know, people don't think race is an issue in Alabama. It used to be a black-white issue. Now it's a brown issue. Now the illegal immigration bill, they want to run all the Hispanics out of the state of Alabama. So if you don't look like them and act like them and play like them, they're going to either convict you in a federal court, send you to prison, or either they want you to get out of our state. So we have to stand up, speak up, and be heard. We can't sit down and be quiet anymore. And somebody told me the other day, keep clapping, I like that, yeah.